party, love how we get. Pour out the bounty, everything set. Celebrate good friends and more. Let me see, tout moon, farewell. Love how the twin peaks rise to the top. Bounty, treasure, right non-stop. We love with spirit and we all have fun. Love that loose and rum.
Perfectly blended, smooth, the rum of the people. Experience the 6 flavors of Bounty Rum, the spirit of St. Lucia.
Get pain relief fast with Frances Rub.
When the days get tough, rub it. Having back pains, rub it. The dog not well, rub it. COVID on you, rub it. If you have 4AD, rub it. For proper circulation, rub it. Stroke have you on a side, rub it. For all problems in life, rub it with Frances Rub. Or call 713-4162 or 489-3421. Nothing beats a good old Frances Rub. Located in the Vendors Arcade, booth 27B.
And now in VA4 on Girodi Street next to the post office.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Hushtalk. We are on another episode of Hushtalk, and guys, tonight we have such a special treat for you. My big treat tonight is seeing Tamara's face. Girl, I have missed you. Welcome back. Welcome back. I have missed you. I am so happy to be seeing you here tonight. And I know Vilna is going to join us later. She's having some problems logging on tonight.
Coming on.
But oh my goodness, I am so excited about tonight because something special is happening tonight. So guys, once again, welcome to Hushtalk. And today we're continuing a conversation that we started last week because we started talking about special ed and our focus was on autism. But then this is a conversation that deserves so much more than 1 hour. So in our special, the special from last week, we spoke about special education. We spoke about the stigma attached to special education. We spoke about stereotypes. We spoke about the embarrassment families and parents and even children experience when they were put in special ed. And we talk about what it means, you know, to recognize that a person can learn, communicate, behave, or experience the world differently without them being deficient. So with that conversation, okay. Oh, what's going on? I don't know. Somebody ended up. I must have.
Oh, it must have been error. Okay.
Because I know I heard something. Okay, so we've asked a lot of questions. Why do people feel shame? Why is it that special ed is taboo? Why is there so much negative connotations attached to children with special needs? Why is it that parents feel like their hands are tied or it's a death sentence when their children are diagnosed with one of the disabilities in the special education classifications? But tonight we want to ask a different question. What happens in a parent's heart when autism stops being an abstract concept and becomes part of a child's journey? What happens when you are the mother, you're sitting across from a professional in a school or in a classroom or in an office, and you're hearing these words telling you, well, your child has been diagnosed with a disability, or we're going to stick to autism. Your child has been diagnosed with autism. When you leave that office and you go home and you still have to cook, you still have to go to work, you still have to parent, you still have to answer or explain to relatives, you still have to make decisions, you still have to figure out how am I going to fight those schools, you still have to worry, you still have hope, and sometimes you still have to cry when nobody's looking. What happens? So tonight we are taking you not only on the journey of autism, but on the journey of a family. We're going to be talking about something very, very, very important. The fear, the confusion, the embarrassment, even the shame. And I cannot wait to get started. Righty?
Correct. We're going somewhere else tonight. we're going from toddlerhood to school to adolescence, all the way up to high school graduation. Because Yolanda, sometimes people hear a diagnosis and immediately start writing and ending somebody's story. You know, you start a whole story, everybody's trying to solve something, everybody's trying to cope with this. But tonight, somebody special, an invited guest, gets to tell us exactly what actually happens when they receive a diagnosis.
Okay, so see, I know that's the moment for us to bring in our special guest, but I just want to kind of like recognize our audience, because our audience is already a little, has a bit of a size already.
Right.
So I want to welcome everybody who is here with us today. You were here with us last week, and the conversation was essential. It was beautiful. You were contributing. You were asking questions. You made it powerful. And you made it into a conversation that should be continued. So I want to welcome all those people who are with us tonight. Electra, St. Catherine, Leona, Merlin, V. I see these are the people who have contributed in the chat already.
Yes.
Good night to you.
Hi,
We
guys.
want all of your contributions tonight. We want all of your expertise. We want all of your inquisitions. We want all of your questions. We want all of your fears. We want your honesty. We want your participation. Everything you have to bring tonight, we want it. So now that we've said this, I think now it's time to bring our special guest, Hushtalk. Welcome, Christine. Let us welcome Christine to Hushtalk. So, good night, Christine. Good night.
Hello, my
On
love.
the stage.
That's right.
How are you this afternoon? How are you tonight?
I'm good. And you know, for you, I'll do anything. So I'm taking that stand for you.
So I like that and I appreciate it. And I know this brave step that Christine is taking for me is going to benefit me, it's going to benefit you, and it's going to benefit so many people, all of our listeners today, whether or not you have had any experience with anybody who has special needs, you are going to be affected today. So, Chris, we're going to jump right in. We're going to get started. But before we can talk about autism and education, teachers, IEP, therapy, so all those other things, we want to give you the stage for a little bit. We want you to tell us about your child. Who is this person that we are going to spend the next hour talking about? Not the disability, not the negative experiences. Just introduce us to this person, this amazing individual who is your child.
My son, everybody know him as Baby Lou in the community of Mikud. God blessed me with this child at age 40. And what the things I've been hearing is like, oh, you have him too late, you'll have a mangle, and you'll have this, and you'll have that, and you'll have this. One thing I know, I did know I was getting pregnant. I was ready for it. I said I'm going to do it, and it happened. Even to the point where the father said he wanted a boy, and for his sake, okay, I want a girl, but he so desperately wanted a boy. I was so happy when it was said it was a boy. And this child, the journey has been long, sad, happy, all kind of emotions you can think of. I've cried, and I've cried, and I've cried. And you know that, Bryce, I've cried. And I prayed, prayers, and God, only by God, we stand. This child, I don't know how to explain or describe him, because it's a mixture. Even at this point, I cannot tell you I understand my child. The drive, the energy, the strength, everything that comes with him. It's like I wake up and I just don't know what to expect next or what next. But God blessed me with a son. And it carried pain. It carried hurt. It carried enemies. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know. But for the one thing God blessed me with finally at age 40, where I was that community girl who did, and I could say, people still meet me and say, Chris, you know, you did this for me. And I don't remember. I had a business running and people would come up the step. And then they appear, I know, okay, I'm ready to help somebody. and he took nothing off me. To a point where somebody said, Christine, you have to learn to say no. I did not know that word no. And the one thing God blessed me with, even family. To this point, I don't like talking about my past. I don't like talking about certain things because heritage, it brings that pain. It brings that hurt. And today I watched this boy and the pride, the joy. He's not perfect, and I will never ask my son to be perfect. I want him to be himself, Lucius. And I see the joy and I see the excitement, and somebody say, whose son you think I am? You always say I'm working too hard. You always think I'm doing too much, mommy. But who's my mother? You know how to stop, mommy? And sometimes I just listen to this child, and like I see a big man in a child's body. And I watch this child and I say, this is the same child everybody thought would become nobody. People brand. Call name. My own family member call my child name.
Chris, I'm going to stop you right there. You know why?
Yeah.
Because you're already getting in the meat of it for us. And I kind of just want to let you keep talking. And I am feeling so emotional for you and with you right now. And let me tell you, you're touching me in a place inside my heart. Not only because I know your journey, I lived it with you, I walked it with you.
You were there. You started and you were the first
with you. Because
you were the first who told me.
Since forever. But I just want to take a short pause because I just want to praise how brave you're being right now. And I want to also praise how brave you've been, because it doesn't take little strength to be in the position that you've been in and to do the work that you've done and to produce the product that you've produced. So can I just take this moment to please ask the audience, can I please see some likes and loves and hearts and thumbs up and claps, whatever positive emoji lies in your pool of emoticons? Please drop some likes and drop some love and let us give Christine some encouragement, because I'm telling you, this 5 minutes I listened to just now, oh my goodness, you are amazing. You are amazing. So you have a lot of hats by Tamara. As you can see, I don't have glasses today. My glasses broke. and I told Jay to go try to fix it for me, and he went, and they're taking some time. So can you pin, because I'm seeing some things. I see that Shana Salam, I see Fiona, I see V Akoti. But if I tell you I can read what they're saying, I can. So can you pin it and just read so Christine can see the love that she's already getting from this conversation tonight?
Okay, so we already have questions coming in, but we'll hold on the questions. I see a lot of love coming, a lot of hearts coming in. And someone says, hi, Chris, thank you so much for sharing your story. All I see is resilience. You are such a strong individual. Okay. Someone else says, let's see, she's a true testimony to what hardship is as a single parent without support. I have been there, but the difference is I had my immediate family. Someone says, very proud of you, Chris. And more love is coming and hearts, and we love you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am feeling this. I am feeling this. Again, let me just say this conversation is so necessary because we have so many children who turn into adults. So we have some adults out there who throughout their lives have been branded special education kids, and we have received them as people who are less than. We have misconceptualized them. We have mislabeled them. We have mistreated them. We have misunderstood them because we did not understand what special education is all about. So today we have Christine in the house with us, and she's going to share her experience from a parent's point of view, and she's going to give us all of the highlights. She is the voice of experience. Okay, so Christine, take us back to the very beginning. I know you started and you started pouring your heart out, thinking about it from a holistic point of view, but take us back to the beginning. Before anybody used the word autism, what were you noticing about your child that made you realize that he was different? And then you can think about how old your child was when you first felt something might be different, or what behaviors did you see? Were there any developmental differences that you noticed that he was different from other kids? And did anyone else notice it before you? Just talk to us about that moment when you realized that your child was different.
Okay. I gave birth to Lucius in New York. I stayed up until 5, and I resided back in St. Lucia. Within those 5 years, up to 3-4 years, Lucius couldn't speak. He couldn't use 2 syllables. And I would watch him develop, and I would like, now he was that touchy child. He couldn't stay still. He couldn't stay settled. Everywhere I take him, if I have him in the stroller, he would walk, like just literally put his feet down and walk away with the stroller. Don't stop. Do not stop. He was that active child. He was the child that couldn't stop. And then I would go out with him. I realized I would just board a taxi back and go back home. I remember calling you many times, and I say, how does Doobie? And I'll ask questions about Doobie and Doobie's development. And I would say, tell me, try the time out. That didn't work. That never worked. I'll try the hitting. That don't work. He didn't feel any. He was not feeling licks. Up to this point, that child don't feel. And then gradually, I'm like, what's going on? Then when he was 3, I asked his dad for him to be in school. Maybe he need to interact with other kids. And that was a no-no. I cried. I did everything. I called my sister, my sister, I could tell anything. I called and I told her what was going on. Say, Chris, beg him. Wait when he's nice and beg him. I tried everything. To the point where he said, if I put this child in school, I'm on my own with the child. Don't call him anything that happened to the child. And you know you're in America, and you who have your back with a child. I would call you, I would cry to you. I had 2 other friends, I would call them. Because this was not who I was. I came to New York to give birth to a child. And then other issues came up with my citizenship that I had to stay. I never came to New York to stay. But then maybe God had me stayed for a reason. And then between that time, I put a child in school, and I was called at the school. They wanted to come to the house because they noticed something was not right with the child. And I would notice little things too. They came, they wanted to see how we're living and everything. Some things you can't even say to protect everybody. Then they said they evaluated him, and they noticed he does not know boundaries. He have a short attention span, and he cannot stay focused. But that's not something Yolanda Bryce, I remember. You watch Lucius played with the kids in your yard, and you say, Chris, don't feel bad. But I'm watching Lucius play with the kids. I think he have a mild autism, not full-blown, but mild. That came from you first. And then when they evaluated him, gave him the hearing thing, maybe his hearing and everything, they put him in that clothes, glass thing, all kind of things my son went through. But my mother kept telling me, the child will speak, don't worry, because my niece spoke at 4. Then came when ready to sign that paper for the child to get the help needed. Oh, Jesus Christ. The father did not. He said his child does not have a problem. If his child have a problem, he have a problem too. I'm watching my child. I'm in the house with my child, and I could tell, the child had gone full tub of water. Mommy, I twim in. He couldn't speak properly. But you'd understand 1-2 things he was saying. I twim in, full in the tub with water. There was a time I couldn't find him. Look all in the house. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm looking, there's a burglar bathroom. I'm saying, no, he couldn't fall off the floor. He climbed. I didn't know he could climb at the time. The child climbed the edge of the thing, and he hid behind that thick curtain. And I'm crazy looking for him. You'd go in the stove. You'd climb the stove. Hide in cupboards. All kind of, stuff. And I'm like, wow. But he was always picking up things fast, really, really, really fast. Unlike other kids, he never potty trained. He just went on the toilet. He was just doing some stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on with my child? And then, not sign the paper, I had to accept and leave for the 5 years till my papers were resolved and everything. Then I could go back home with my child. And from there...
So I'm going to stop you, because I know when you went back home that it was a little bit different. So I'm going to stop you right here because I kind of want to focus on, you know, in those early years between 1 to 5, all of the things that you shared happened. And I again, as I said, I saw the audience chat blowing up. I see that we have some questions for you. But I kind of want to just touch on a few things you said. So Christine spoke about the initial signs of the seeing that the child was on the spectrum. And I know, yeah, I can attest to that. I was the first person who said, I looked at him because of my experience teaching kids with special needs. Certain characteristics he was displaying. He would open the water and just watch it study for a long time. You know, he was, again, as you said, he had a very short attention span. And then he wants to communicate because he's very wise. He knows what he's saying. He's smart. But he doesn't have, like, he's struggling with the ability to express himself. So I remember, Christine, you would come to my house, you would come and he would ask me something. He would want something and he would point and he would be frustrated. And because I knew what to do, I would say, okay, I can see you definitely want something. What can I get you? And he was like, and I said, no, calm down. Let's think about it. We'll talk. What can I get it? And you would tell me, Bryce, he just wants this. I said, Chris, let me help him. Because I know he's frustrated and it's a learning process to take him from this point where he knows what he wants to actually express it and put it out so he could say what he wants. Then when he pointed out, say, okay, you want this? If this is called a pan, this, you know, and he'll repeat it. And then he learned very early, when I am around Auntie Yolanda, I can be myself. She understands me. I feel capable. I can do X, I can do Y, I can do Z, because the patience, again, I was that experienced person, so I could handle that. But then you also spoke about his dad being in denial and seeing his diagnosis as some kind of negative stigma. If my child has autism, then that means there must be something wrong with me. And because there is nothing wrong with me, then there's nothing wrong with my child. Right. And I must say that this kind of reaction is not because parents are necessarily bad. Some parents, because of what they've heard about special education, they don't want their kids to be, you know, classified as special education. Correct. Because it's a negative reflection on the family, right? So I just wanted to put that out there, that child's father is not the only parent who has that reaction. And your reactions of fear, of worry, of overwhelm is not new either, because a lot of parents who have had children with autism and other developmental disabilities have gone through the same thing. So, but the sad thing is, you were in a place where you were not told that it's normal to be like that, or you never experienced that before. So it was a new experience for you, and the support you needed wasn't always available. And that is what a lot of families of kids with disabilities are going through.
You know what I want to ask her? You know, we said, because she said she did all the tests, etc., what the dad said. But Christine, how did you feel? Okay, you're sitting here and you get the diagnosis and you hear your child has autism. What came to mind? What did you think at that time? What was your mind? What was the process? What was your thought? Did you understand autism?
I always try to live with an open mind. Anything is possible. I don't take things, I don't stress over things too much. I ask questions, I go to people. If I can't understand it, I'll call my favorite person, Yolanda. She'll explain whatever I don't understand to me. But I always feel, if you need help, you need help. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Stop right there. I'm going to ask you a question that's going to have you to, and I want you to answer as truthfully as you can. Was there ever a point when you felt guilty? When you felt that it was your fault?
Your fault.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that point?
Because people usually tell you have a child at a younger age. I never met this person I felt I was ready to open that much to. So my life was about work until I met Lucia's father, and I thought, oh, this is it. Because I thought I got the last good man standing, like every other woman. And there I decided, I told him, we're going to do this. And the same night we decided it's happening, it happened that same night. Wow. We didn't have to try twice. And We did not have to try. I just say drop it.
So that was a
And
blessing, right? That just showed you that's a blessing right there. That child
Yes.
wasn't a mistake. He wasn't a disability.
No, it wasn't. It
blessing.
wasn't. It was planned. It was planned.
Yeah, my
And,
glass is rich. Thank you.
And I felt maybe I've had him sooner or maybe eating, but really and truly, my child never. If you looked at Lucius, you'd never see there was no problem. Lucius was a normal kid. He looked like a normal kid. Just that, his activity and stuff you do was just, concern, was of concern.
Okay.
But if you look at the boy was growing, a handsome little boy growing, I'm dressing him up and like any other kid. So there was never really that thing where I'm like, oh my God. I look at my child and I feel ashamed. I feel no, never. I never feel that way.
The reason why I wanted to ask you that is because people have a misconception that if you drink, hey, I was so busy cleaning my glasses. Welcome. It looked like you got the color memo. So there must be something orangish or reddish about autism. I have it in my background too. Hey, a minute, tomorrow look for your orange. I don't know about it.
Oh my God. Oh God.
You better have a look. My glass is orange too.
I am orange, okay?
So people like to say if you have kids too late, or you drink or you eat certain foods, or you do certain things, then that's what happens. So I kind of wanted to just clear up that misconception that a mother of any age can have a child who ends up on the spectrum. Correct. I just wanted to clear that misconception up.
Correct.
Okay. At this point, can we just really take some of the questions?
We have a lot coming in.
And I just want to apologize to our sponsors. I am watching the clock, and I know it's time for a commercial break. I just don't think that right now is the time for us to interrupt the flow. So I will take a longer break just now. But
okay, let's go through some questions. Okay. Shanna says, Christine, so pleased that you took the time to share your struggles. She says, I love that there is no stigma. Leona says, you are a strong Black woman and you raised a great young man. So these are people who know you showing some love. Shanna also says, a lot of people have the wrong idea of what special needs are. V. Aquate comes in and she says, did you get any emotional and clinical, support from the school? Normally differences are detected at school age. So she's asking whether you got anything from the school.
They worked with him. They went on and on. I would call me IEP meetings every year. I would sit with them. I would have the supervisor, the vocational rehabilitation agency, the administrator. Everybody worked with me because they saw potential in him, but it's just that he needed to stay focused. Now, from the earlier stage at, say, like age 8 when he first came here, I would be called at the school and he cannot stay still. And if the place is too quiet, he'll do something to distract. He always had to do that because he was bored. So the teacher would have him next to them and they would call me. And sometimes when they call me, I always have that worst fear. Oh, something. Then there are times they would say, you Lucius' mom? I said, yes. And then some would say, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. He has that genuine love thing. He flows. He shares. He has all the other good qualities because I try to raise and teach him those things. In spite of his thing, I always try to stay on point with what was important: humanity, love, respect, and those kind of stuff. And I remember there was this teacher who called, and she was like, I guess she was one of these young teachers, and she was like, I said, listen, Miss, you're the teacher. When he's out of my house, he's with me.
Can you tell us what she was like? I'm interested in what she was like.
She was young and she was going.
No, not describing her. Who? What were her messages to you? Her complaints? What was she sharing with you about your child that made you feel like because
the normal, the same thing I hear all the time, the same thing I'm experiencing at home. So I had to tell her, Miss, you're the teacher. When he's in your care, you're in charge. Discipline him as best you can. You don't put a blow on him, a mark on him, but he's in your care. I'm not that kind of parent who would come into school and attack a teacher. No, because I know my child. I say, listen, you're not telling me anything that I don't know. I go through it at home. So I know what you're talking about, but you're the teacher. You come on. I cannot tell you how to do your job.
So I'm gonna jump in here again. Like I will jump in a lot because it's right in my element. So and it's not just for Lucius, it's for the people out there who may not know. When you have a child who is on the spectrum or with any other disability, the behaviors that are being displayed, whether it's disruption, whether it's whether it's distracting, whether it's kids are not able to sit down, kids are they're fidgety, they're talkative, they have inappropriate social relationships. It's not a time for punishment or discipline, and it's a time for those service providers to get together and say, this child has a tendency or this child is exhibiting XYZ. And you look at all of the behaviors and see what behaviors are manifested as a result of that disability. And then you put strategies in place to say, okay, so what are we going to do to avoid these behaviors? What are we going to do to make sure we don't reinforce these behaviors? What are we going to do to redirect these behaviors? You put strategies, supports in place. And then you let the child know what the expectations are. You don't reduce rigor of work to say, oh, well, this child, he's this or he's that. No, you're supposed to, as a professional, hopefully with a good support system, look at what that child needs and redirect that child. And the answer is never discipline, because you're teaching the child, because of the way you are, you're bad. You need to say, or your actions need to say, I see your differences and I see that you can focus and you can learn, but you're easily distracted by something else. So hopefully I can give you a squishy, a toy. So then instead of like you all out of your seat, you can maybe squeeze on this. Maybe I can give you something where a kinesthetic learner, you can work on the laptop instead of writing, because you can, sitting down quietly might be a struggle for you. So maybe if you're actually moving using a reader instead, then that might, kind of limit all of those movements. So it's on the teacher at this point, and it's so sad that sometimes you don't have teachers who are qualified or were trained well enough to deal with children in these situations, but it is the teacher's responsibility. It was not your son's responsibility. And it's definitely not a time for her to discipline.
I really hope there are teachers listening here, because you gave a whole class. I think you should start teaching special ed, teaching these teachers.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
I know.
So, see, can we get some more comments?
Yes, let's go. So Leona also,
you don't even have to mention the names. Just read
okay. I can feel her pain. This is a lot to take in, so I applaud her encouragement. You rose above it all, so I thank God for protecting you through it all. So Vilna is on vacation today, right? Okay, let's go. Vilna, you read the next set of comments.
Wow.
I'm still.
No,
I'm
she's
still,
quiet
no,
here.
I'm still struggling with my. Go ahead.
Okay.
I can help you till your mouth get tired. I have my glasses back.
No, I'm fine. I needed to hear her voice.
Okay.
V says it was ignorance on the father's part, because he may have felt that his son was a reflection of him, as we said. And you said it. If his child has a problem, then he has a problem too. Someone else says, what was the relationship with his teachers and how did that affect his academic performance? That's a question.
When my son made it to, he never sit back, and I'm so proud of that. I always told him, no matter what, I don't ask you to bring me 100%, my boy, but give your best. I would not say things like show them, but I would tell him, my boy, a lot of people don't expect anything good from you. From a little boy, you've been struggling. I've watched you cry, and I've cried with you, and you'd ask mommy why people treat me the way. And I always taught my child to just, mommy boy, just do your best. Don't worry with them, mommy. All you can do is prove to them. Just prove to them. What I'm giving you, I never got it. I never got the education you're getting. I didn't get that, my boy. But I want to see you succeed. Whatever you choose to be, I will be right there with you. It will be your choice, and I will not stop you. And along the way,
sorry, hold that thought. I'm gonna interject. I like, mommy, why are they treating me this way? Yes. Mommy, why are they doing this to me? If there are any parents, because I know there are parents or family members in the audience who have had children who have special needs and who have wondered, why am I being treated this way? Don't ever tell them, oh, you know what, don't worry. No, let them know The reason why there are people out there who are lacking.
Take that mouse.
Okay, they don't know how to deal with your difference. It's not the child who has the problem. It's the people who are not equipped to deal with your difference. These people don't know any better. They don't have the capacity to understand and appreciate difference. So when they look at you, they see someone who is different from you. Okay? So we just have to be patient with them. So now you kind of change the script. Oh, I'm superior. I just need to teach you how to deal with me. Not, oh my God, I'm bad at this. I just have to be. No, we want to start changing the idea that this is not your fault. And we have to grow citizens who not just, I don't even want to say the word tolerance, because you're not just tolerating, who's accepting differences and understanding that differences are normal. We need to start making the difference normal.
Correct.
Sorry, continue, Chris.
Okay.
One time my son came to me. He came to me one time and he said, Mommy, do you love me less when I misbehave? I said, I will always love you, my son. I just want the best for you. So when I shout or something and be hard on you, that doesn't mean I love you less. I'm the one person who will always stand out for you. You're mine. You came from inside of me, and I cannot give up on you no matter what. I can only guide you along the way, but it have to be you. It have to be up to you, my son. You have to want it. Okay? I said, I didn't have what I'm trying to give you. Yes, you'll think it's about a big house, and it's not about all those things out there, my boy. It's not about vacation. It's not about that. It's not showing up for you. I will always show up for you. And when he made it to high school, I watched that boy go through high school, and I maintain I will always drop him off to school because I know what it's like on the bus with kids, you know, bothering you and all the things. He had the weight. He still had the weight. And I watched my son come to me crying. I said, Mommy, why people treat me the way they treat me? I'm like, what happened now? What happened? I said, your mommy love you. Don't worry. Who treats you bad? Don't worry about that, my son. He said, Mommy, they've taken me about my breast. I watched this child cry, and on his own in my kitchen, this child doing push-up. He could barely do one push-up.
Oh.
I started exercising with him, going around the yard, till he reached an age. But he was the kind of child who liked to ask questions. So he would meet people and never scared to ask what he wants to know. One day he said, Mommy, can you enroll me in the gym? He said, you don't have age to be in the gym, my boy. You're a child. They won't take you in the gym. But I'll get you some weights. I got him a bench. I ordered him the bench. And I stayed in the balcony and I'm doing it with him. And this child was determined to lose that weight because people were making fun of him. I watched Baby Lou go through so much as a child.
Chris, your strength is showing. Your strength is showing.
I could not give up on him.
His strength is also showing. It just shows that children with special needs, they have drive, they have goals, they have dreams, they have determination, they have willpower. So your share, it's emotional, and we're emotional with you, but it's really positioning your child, how strong he is, how capable he is. It's actually debunking the myth that, you know, children with autism have no willpower, they have no goal, they have no nothing, they have no drive. It negates all of that. And your strength as a parent is showing. I will have to apologize to Peter later. I'm not taking a commercial.
Or maybe we could take a quick one now, give her time to catch her breath, and then we can come back.
Okay.
Give her a minute. Give her a minute to catch her breath.
So when we come back, we're going to really talk through the comments in the chat. We're going to just put all at once instead of answering one by one because we're already more than halfway through. But we really want to honor all of those.
Right. It's a lot, yeah.
And then I want to, right after, I have a question for Christine because she did talk about bringing Baby Lou back to St. Lucia.
Correct.
And I want to push in there, how did family and people who were close to you help or didn't help your situation?
That situation.
Okay? All right, so let's take our very first commercial break.
And quick
We'll be
one.
right back.
Love how we party, love how we fet. Pour out the bounty, everything set. Celebrate good friends and more. Tendency, tout moon, fair war. Love how we twin pigs rise to the top. Bounty, treasure, right non-stop. We love with spirit and we all have fun. Love that loose and rum.
Perfectly blended. Smooth. The rum of the people. Experience the 6 flavors of bouncy rum. The spirit of St. Lucia.
Okay, and we are back. T, can you read the comments from the audience for us?
Yolanda.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Vils.
Chris, you're a phenomenal woman. I feel your pain. Know that the bride's family. No, something is happening.
What happened? Let's go again.
Okay. Know that the bride's family will always be there for you. Another comment. Actually, as a therapist, even my clients do not carry a diagnosis of ASD. I still offer fidgets and squeegees to keep them focused and engaged in discussion. It works to calm nerves, ADHD, anxiety, etc. We have one more. Well, paternal factors do contribute to the neurodevelopment challenges, but not solely affecting the child. But genetics play a big vital role in ASD. But parents should not blame themselves for this because multiple things come into play. And I think that's the last one. Good night, everyone. Christine, you're a strong woman. I will always be there by your side. You are part of my life. You're a phenomenal woman. I love you forever. And that's from Cheryl Bryce, Christine.
Thank you so.
I think that was the last one, right?
I think there's another one from Leona who said with her daughter.
This one, I had some kind of that thinking at one point with Layla because of certain behaviors, and I had some questions too.
Okay. All right, Chris. So before the break, we did speak about you mentioned about going back to St. Lucia. So for the first few years, you were in the United States, correct? And then at some point, you decided to go back home, and you went home with your son, right? So tell us that experience then, when you got home, when you were home. So you're going back where your family is, where you expect that support, right? So tell us a little about introducing your son or trying to raise your son in your family environment, first of all. Tell us about the family and the community.
You think you have problems? I fought it to the end in New York, and I'm coming back. I was the person who had been looking out for everybody. You don't brag about certain things, but you're that person, everybody. You check on everybody and make sure everybody okay and whatever. And you're expecting that you have a child now. Everybody's going to happy. But sometimes I would sit back and feel like, people don't like the fact that I have a child. Because maybe now the attention is not on them. I don't know what it was. But listen, girl, I thought I had cried. I thought I had finished crying and praying God for the one thing He blessed me with, the one short thing I call my own. I thought it was done. I dealt through more in St. Lucia. That's why I'm here where I am today, in St. Croix. I had to take him out. Wow. I had to take my son out for many reasons. And the people I trusted the most with my child behind my back, they were the persons hurting the child the most, talking about this child the most. And I'm like, why? I have been there for you. I have been there for so many. I can't even count. People remind me, I don't remember. The one thing God blessed me with, I can call my own. I had to go through so much. I had to take him and get out to save the one person I call mine. I had to take him out. I bought that plane. I never stopped crying. And I'm watching the one short thing I call mine. I have to go through so much in the hands of even family.
Wow.
family.
Oh, wow.
And when you find people who actually are genuine love you and you give back that love, your people sometimes have a problem with it. I don't care.
Wow.
Wow. People can be really
I didn't care about me. I didn't care about me, but you do not hurt a child. You do not hurt a child. No matter what. You do not hurt a child.
Question. Do you think that if he was not autistic, that you would have been able to remain in St. Lucia with him and that he would have been accepted by your family and friends?
Villa, I needed the help for him. When I saw how people were treating him, the things he was going through and not trying to even understand him, I had to run. I closed shop. I just had to put this child first and do what I had to do.
Wow.
And sometimes you think you're living bad, coming to better, you go through worse.
Yes.
But you know what? My strength, I will bend. I will never break. Because I know what it is to do with little. And I know it is to have. I have been there, done that. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed with this child and we prayed together and only by God, this child, I look at him today. Like, I don't know if I would say maybe I didn't do, maybe I don't know if I did my best, but I did everything I had to do for this child. And that's the one person I will never give up on. Never. He may go, I will never give up on him. Because this child has a heart with all his problems. This child has a heart. And this child have a love beyond, I don't know. People who knows him. And I have watched him cried. Mommy, why? Why people treat me the way they treat me? I'm like, Mommy boy, you have to learn to understand people. I cannot explain to you now. But as you grow older, and now he stays away. Or because a child knows, a child grew up and they know, they can feel people that really love them, genuinely love them, and people that are there. So when he stays away from you, don't question him because he knows. And he has his reason. The child is not stupid.
Chris, I have a question, not to cut you short, Chris. You know, as you say, staying away. I want to know, now that he's grown, these same people, the same family members, the same friends, those that you, how do they react when they see him now? Because I mean, I've seen the child. I can't even call him a child. I mean, come on, baby Lou see me and baby Lou chatting me, you know, Chris.
Baby Lou chatting for everybody.
Yeah, so tell me, what are they saying? What's the expression now? What are they saying now?
I don't know. Let me tell you. Some people will say nothing. Instead of saying anything good, they'll say nothing at all. And I learned to accept anything. I'm not looking for any validation. I'm not looking for any. It's okay. Right. Me and my son are okay. And even if he's dad, he learned to accept what it is. He cried and he would question me, Mommy, why? Why, Mommy? I said, Mommy boy, it's okay. You have me. Just love you and pray about it. Whatever is affecting you, just pray about it. I'll pray with him. I went to a pastor to pray for my child. We prayed with the pastor. And I'm like, what more? What else can I do? Wow. And I watch this child and I'm watching his journey and I'm just allowing him to be himself. If he don't want to do something, I'm like, okay, you're not ready, but listen, I'd like you to do so and so. You cannot stay at one level. You have to grow, my boy. I don't want it. And this child has a strength. And I'm telling you, just last week, this child showed up with a truck right there. Let me tell you, not any truck.
Wow, I was holding
Vilna's husband kind of truck.
Christine, Christine, I'm going to interrupt your story because
I
think that question is important.
I think so.
Use that same response.
Yes.
We've been talking about that child, and all of the difficulties he's been through. Yes. And my next question was, what are some of the strengths you see in your child now that you celebrate, that make you see that your child really is a blessing?
Right. There is not anything baby Lucia Serie won't do. There is nothing too hard for Lucia Serie not to do. What he cannot do is what he has not tried yet, Bryce. And you know that. And it scares the hell out of me.
So Sherry has some of those things.
Listen. Baby Lou don't need to try something up or how you say you get practice or whatever to do anything he has to do. If baby will tell you I can do this, he will do it. I watched baby Lou from an early age of maybe 3, because we're still in New York, 3, 4, and we went to a party, and these kids were riding this big scooter, and he's watching them, and I'm telling the person next to me, as soon as they put this thing down, my son grabbing the scooter. He fell 5 times, he went back 5 times. Baby Lou had this big bicycle, he fell, nothing, he can fall, he'll ride right back and go back. Baby Lou went on the horse for the first time, and the child galloped that horse from the barn. So anytime I go St. Lucia, he has to go to get his horseback riding. There is nothing. I had a car in the yard. Lucia should be moving the car, and I did not know. Child. And let me tell you, when I found, I was like, oh my God, Lucius, you will put me in trouble, Lucius. We didn't come here for trouble, Lucius. Lucia drove my Jeep, and he said, Mommy, I can drive the Jeep. You had no choice but to take him to just bring him by the complex. And because listen, even though I tell him don't do it, Bryce, you know Lucius, Serie. Lucius will do. Lucius have a mind of his own. And there is nothing Lucius will not or cannot do. Sorry to say it like this. What he has not tried is what he have not seen.
Do you remember the jackhammer at 3 years old when he said he was
at 3 years old, and he never let go of that jackhammer? He was ready to go to work at 3 years old. He could not speak properly, but he was ready to go to work. And even while he was in school, I said, I don't want people to say, oh, I said the child was ready to work. He said, Mommy, please, Mommy, just let me do it, Mommy. At least I can help myself. I don't have to ask you for everything I need, Mommy. Yeah, I know, Mommy. Don't worry. And you tell me, Mommy, I'm going to be great. And he kept telling me that. And he said, Mommy, I told you Bryce, you know that. I share everything with you. I'm going to be great.
Wow.
So tell us
about him now.
I'm going to be great.
Right.
So again, I want you to take us to the point. We talked about him from the time he was little, older, how he was treated, all the crazy things he goes through. But then there was a moment, and I remember this moment very well. A big moment last year. Very specific. Graduation day. The child you had worried about so much, he's graduating from high school. I want you to take us to that day, or around, maybe not a day, maybe around the time, because same is a few days. What did you see? What did you feel? Did your mind go back to that first diagnosis when they diagnosed him, when you were scared, when you were worried? Talk to us about what you felt as a parent at that moment.
Listen, Lucius will come to me and somebody say, Mommy, I'm going to make honor roll one day. And Bryce, I know my son, and I know Lucius don't care. You just not do the paper. You just not do the work. The teachers would call him. Lucius can do the work, you just not do it. And listen, this child started grade 9, and the changes just came. I don't know where it came from. Don't ask me, but I prayed. I used to pray with him, and we prayed and we prayed. And I'm saying education is important, my boy. What I didn't get, I want you to get it. And I would pray to him till Cody, when the pandemic, my God, my niece Cody, God bless her soul, stood up with me. And she said, Auntie, I'm going to come help you with Lucius. And that child came here. And let me tell you, one time she hit him, and she said she's not going to do it again because he didn't take it too well. My father said, nobody touch me. And you know, that's the kind of thing his father put in his head. And like, I said, don't worry, Fim Coco, just do what you have to do. And Cody didn't give up on my child. And I love this child as my own, just standing with me. Never looking down on my child. Anything. Cody said, Auntie, Lucius has potential. Lucius can do it, you know, Auntie. But maybe you too soft with him. But then again, I know the child I raised, and I know how, you know, every teacher, he cannot focus, he cannot do this and he cannot do that. So in my head, Bryce, I'm raising a child who I only expect that much from. But then Cody used to say, Auntie, you give it, you not hard on him enough. I'm like, Coco, what can I do? I didn't go to school to teach any child. I don't know, Coco. So what do I do? I say, baby, look, can learn, Auntie. But you know what? You're not hard. And I'm like, okay, she came and she didn't play with him. And baby Lou just started, and baby Lou just the transition, and like teachers calling me, and Lucius is, you know, doing so, and Lucius is whatever. And sorry to say it, I didn't just post he became an honor roll student. These are free I got. Honor roll. And I am telling you, I don't want to just, people just say things. I don't want to just say things. And Bryce, you know, when you came down for his graduation. And I said, baby, and I'm like, how? There's a time I remember I went to the school for his report and I'm scared. And I'm like, oh my God, he's repeating. And the teacher said, what happened to you? And I'm like, I don't know. Because he's sometimes when I think he's in his books, he's sometimes on his phone and, say, what are you talking about? The boy, I made on a roll. I'm like, you made on a roll. And Lou, listen, I had to change that thing in my head about my child. My child can do well. And I have watched Lucius have conversation with people, and I'm like, where is he getting it from? Where he got that from? And I remember my brother Bennett, and I watching Baby Lou and Bennett, and the way they converse, and the way they reason, and the way they, to the point where they had something here with the governor, and Baby Lou went to the governor, and I'm like, oh my God, auntie, what do you want to tell the governor there? By the time I'm saying that, my child is calling, mommy, come. And he's introducing me to the governor. I said, that's my mom. And the man is shaking my head. Wow, you have a brilliant son. And this boy had this conversation with me. And I'm like, I said, I really don't know my child potential. I really don't know. And more people, who meet me tell me, the way this child speak and the child have his head. And I'm like, wow, I really underestimated my child. And I watched Mr. Transit. And I must say, he's come a long way. And I'm so proud of this boy. I am. And thanks, through God, all things are possible. I prayed and I cried. And I'll call Bryce. I don't know if she was tired of me. I don't know if she was tired of hearing my voice sometimes.
No,
Bryce.
I was never tired of you. You're my best friend. Never tired. But you know what?
It has been a journey. It has.
You know what, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
This is my worst part of the show. When this is my worst part of the show, when it's really going and we're feeling and we could talk and we just start and I look and I see it's time to end. We have like 2 minutes. But I've heard everything you say. We've heard it, the audience have heard, you've really engaged them. I don't think we've ever had so much conversation in the chat before. We've not gone through half of the conversation.
No.
So your story, your share has really animated our crowd tonight. But I do want to ask you something, even if your voice is the last voice we hear for tonight. Because we had a little more, but our time has come, so we have to stop. So I want to ask you, Christine, seeing all what you have seen, you are the mother of the adult Lucius. If you had to stand in front of the mother of young Lucius, who was diagnosed of autism during his developmental years, and that mother had just gotten that diagnosis, your child is on the spectrum, and you had to just whisper something in her ear, what would you tell her? Remember, you talk about everything you think of from childhood to the moment where he graduated and he's a man and he has dreams and goals and he's successful. What would you whisper into young Christine's ear?
Never give up. Never give up. Pray. Sit with your child. While the world might see him as a problem, you see your child and you want the best for that child. So you work with that child. You look for the help needed for that child. You don't blame, and always let that child know you do not blame. Don't blame themselves for anyone misconception or action of them. Learn to embrace everyone and treat everyone with love and respect. Along the way, all you can do is prove yourself to each and everyone and become that person you're born to be, that person you're meant to be, that person God created you to be. Never give up. And as a parent, never give up on your kids. Never. Never. You're the one person that can stand out for your child. And hold that child's hands and pray. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them. Don't make them think they're less. Do not make them feel that, they're inadequate. Don't make them feel that they're not somebody or they will never become somebody. Because a child is a child. A child does not understand. A child is growing, and as they grow, they need you to help with that growth. And if you as a parent or an adult give up on a child, the whole world will give up on a child. If you as the mother give up on the child, the whole world will give up on that child. And only you can be blamed for that.
Wow. Thank you.
Okay.
The next question I had for you was, what would you say to parents? You were so dynamic. You talk to the parents too.
Everybody.
I'm telling you. You, Christine, you are an amazing guest. You are an amazing parent. You did an amazing job. You raised an amazing son. And when I look at your son, I do not see a child with autism. I just see a son who is loving, who is respectful, who is conscientious, and who is going to have a really, really bright
And
future.
it's too much sometimes, mommy.
Oh, guys, I wish we had a chance. I want to go back into the chat after this is over because I want to read your comments. I want to read your questions. I'm not sure if we're going to have a professional next week. We'll let you guys know. But we know next week is Wind Down Wednesdays. But I think we may have to push it back to the first week of September because we have another special guest coming on to really talk about, because things like that, when it's important, we can't keep quiet because this is Hush Talk, where we talk about the things nobody want to talk about, and autism is one of them. But I will take this moment. Before I thank Christian and our guest Tamara Vin, I don't know if you guys have any last words you want to say. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, last words.
I don't really know Lucius personally like you would, but then just the few interactions I've had with him, maybe I saw him at your wedding with her, and then maybe just seeing you posting him and stuff. And from what I know of Christine and what she said, I'm sure if there are people in the audience who have children who have been diagnosed, they will understand. They will take a page from you and realize that you just need to be there for that child, stand with that child, and block out the noise from the world and give that child that support that they need. And I'm sure that a lot of people are grateful and they have listened. And I'm sure he is very grateful for having you as a mom.
T?
Well, for
It
me,
is hard.
Chris,
Okay.
I have heard from so many persons about Christine Mitchell. Because remember, I'm not from Miku, but everything about Christine Mitchell.
You from Miku? Stop lying.
Christine is that woman is so determined and very hardworking and has a heart of gold. She helps everyone. And I met Lucius, and if nobody told me, I would have never known he was autistic because the way the
Wait, he's not autistic. He has autism.
He has autism. Correct me. Thank you. So the way the child would chat, the conversation he had, I would have never known, right? And so I listened to your story. You truly are a phenomenal woman, and you have raised an amazing young man. I remember him wanting to do boxing, and he told me, if my mom don't want me to do it, check for me. I can come and do boxing in St. Lucia, If you come and do boxing, because he's so determined, he has all his dreams and his goals. So you have done well. So sit back, relax, enjoy your son, enjoy the rest of the journey. You've worked hard, so now reap all the rewards. Kudos to you, and thanks for all that you do. Thank you.
Most welcome.
So
And
thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris.
What I would say is one last thing is sometimes you have to teach children to rise above circumstances. It's heartbreaking to see your child cry over a situation they have no control of. But then it's okay that you can sit and speak with your child and be that one person they can trust, come to, and you will always be there for that child. That's your child. Thanks.
Okay, so Chris, thank you for an amazing session.
You're most welcome.
You are invaluable. You're making me feel like this was the best thing we ever did, calling you to come to the show. You, as T said, as Vinla said, you're an amazing parent. Lucius is an amazing son. Audience, you were amazing. Thank you for making our show. All of the compliments you gave to Christine, she's earned it. Chris, I hope you receive it well.
I did.
Thank you so much. And guys, this is Hushtalk. Keep supporting us. Keep coming back. We talk about all the things that everybody else just whisper about. But on Hushtalk, we don't have to whisper anymore. So thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And good night. Thank you so
Good night.
much.
Thanks for having me. Take care, you all guys. All right, bye.